It's very warm in my room right now, but I'm not going to open a window because no one wants noise, so we'll live with it. Hello everyone, I am doing a video about my first year university experience, which was interesting and a lot happened. I didn't think it was going to end this way, but here we are. I have just finished my first year at Bournemouth University studying tourism management. Do I attend that uni anymore? No. And you'll find out why. So yeah, there will be a Q&A at the end. There was like a few questions I got from TikTok. But I do answer quite a lot of them in the actual video, so if I don't answer them within the video, then I'll answer them at the end. I'm not going to go into like full detail because I think that's kind of boring, so I'm just going to like pick on the main parts. I'll start with like what unis I actually apply to, because I don't think I've ever said that before. So I applied to Cardiff, Met, Surrey and Bournemouth, and I'm going to sneeze. No, it was gone. I knew people that were going to Bournemouth. I thought that I would feel more comfortable going to a uni where I knew people there, so I wasn't completely on my own. Also, Bournemouth is such a lovely town, and the beach, when it is sunny, it is incredible. So yeah, I ended up going to Bournemouth, so that was the backstory behind that. So, moving day. I have a vlog of me moving into uni on my channel. This is the thumbnail, you can go look for it. I'll link it in the, what's it called? I'll link it in the description. So if you want to actually like see me move in, then go and watch that video. The accommodation that I was moving into, I had one of my friends in my flat. I wasn't originally going to stay in that accommodation because I preferred another accommodation, but I thought because my friend was in that accommodation that I'd feel more comfortable. The accommodation was nice though, I couldn't fault it really. I mean, it was a bit outdated and it could have been nicer, but it was a good sized room. It was a big room, I'm not gonna lie. The rooms were quite big compared to the other accommodations. Nothing went wrong with my room really, the two rooms that I was in. The kitchen was really big. If you've stayed in like Unite students accommodation, I just think the decorations are a bit out there, do you get what I mean? It's not very modern, but it was a good accommodation, I'm not gonna lie. Like washing was fine, maintenance was fine. I never had to really call maintenance up. I did get locked out of my room once. It was sorted in like 10 minutes. They were quite hot on like security and corona, but I quite like that because that kind of made me feel safer there. That was all good. So, Freshers Week. Obviously because of corona, Freshers Week wasn't the typical Freshers Week. It wasn't even really a Freshers Week, let's be real. Because I don't do well with going away from home, homesickness did hit me. Very homesick, crying all the time on the phone. So that kind of took away from my Freshers Week and the fact that I didn't go out and socialise. So that obviously stopped me getting close to my flatmates and, you know, making friends. Because I was in my room a lot of the time, I did feel really lonely and it was really hard for me to make friends. As well as that, our course was completely online. So I obviously couldn't make friends that were on my course really. I did go out to like spoons with some of them, but it never really went anywhere. We just kind of met that one day and that was it. It was hard to make friends in that sense because obviously you couldn't actually go onto campus and be with your course. Because I was so homesick, I got in touch with the wellbeing team at my university. Bournemouth University is really good for the for mental health and your well-being. The wellbeing team were so helpful. I don't know if you have Res Life at your university, but at Bournemouth we did, and they put me in touch with an older student who was part of Res Life, and she was kind of there if I wanted to go out and if I needed anything. And then she put me in touch with a girl who I'm really good friends with now. I did go home after 2.5 weeks, obviously went back to uni. At that point I decided that I wanted to move flats. The people in my flat were so lovely, but everyone in my flat loved to drink and party and go out all the time. Like, I know that's part of uni, is going out drinking, partying. That is student life, that's what some people come to uni for, they want to experience that. But for me, I'm not the biggest drinker, I'm not the biggest partier. Sure, I do love a party, don't get me wrong, and I do love a drink, like I do love a spoons trip, but I'm not the one to do that every single night and to like be out all night long. That's just not what I enjoy. I just felt like I wasn't really fitting in, and so I decided to move flats. And the reception team at my accommodation were so lovely. They helped me out a lot. The time frame from when I asked to move flats to when I actually moved flats was, I think about a week or 2 weeks, so it was quite quick. So yeah, they found me a flat which was more chilled out, so I decided to move into that flat, and I learned my lesson from last time. So I made sure I was always out in the kitchen. Everyone was so nice, so yeah, I felt like I fit in more in that flat, which was really nice. I was there for about a week until lockdown happened. So this was in November, so I decided to go home for the lockdown. But in that time at home, I kind of came to the realization that I don't really want to go back to that uni anymore. Mentally wasn't doing too well. Because I was so homesick, I was just dreading going back to university. I just didn't want to go back, and I was trying to figure out what I actually wanted to do with my life. I decided to try and apply to universities at home. One of the unis at home did my course, but it was more focused on the business side of it, and to me, I do not want to go into that kind of area. I just find it really boring. I found a marketing course, and I've always kind of enjoyed marketing. At college, I did a marketing unit. I did travel and tourism at college, and I really enjoyed it. And because I do like TikTok and YouTube, I really like to create. Doing TikTok and YouTube, I kind of have to market myself in a way, and I find it really interesting, and I just love like designing my thumbnails. I love coming up with ideas, like creating what people are gonna want to see, and how like I can make my thumbnails kind of stand out. And yeah, anyway, so marketing does give me a lot more opportunities. I do obviously want to stick to travel and tourism, and I was thinking of going into marketing within travel and tourism anyway. So it just kind of made sense for me to kind of pick the marketing course. One of the things I'd love to do is air hostessing. Oh my god, that's been kind of like my dream since I was a little girl. And I know you don't have to go to university for that. That's just what I want to do after uni, is air hostessing for a little bit, and then obviously I have my degree to kind of use that to get me a job after, and you know what I mean. Yeah, I had to go through the whole UCAS process again, but I did it. I got an unconditional offer from my first choice university, which was very exciting. So yeah, I'm starting a new university in September. So after being in lockdown for so long, I was so bored at home. So I decided to try and get back to university. I wanted to get over homesickness. I wanted to conquer homesickness because it's the only way that I'm gonna get over it. So at this time, I had better coping mechanisms. I'm gonna do a video on how to deal with homesickness later on, where I'll kind of go into everything in more detail, so look out for that. I was in a much better mindset when I went back for the second time, which really helped. I also made a lot more friends. I was coping a lot better. After 3 weeks, I proved to myself that I could stay away from home. I was actually debating on staying on for the second year. In those 3 weeks, I would have had to go into a studio, which one is very expensive. Even though I could stay away from home, I would rather be at home. I do like my own space, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I was doing better, I was still kind of wishing my life away. Like I was just always waiting for the next time that I could go home, for the next time my parents were coming up. So I decided the best decision for me was to carry on with my decision to go to university at home. That's what I'm doing in September. So I got a few questions from TikTok, so I'm gonna answer them. So the first question is it scary first moving away from home? Obviously yes, but it does depend on the person you are. If you're quite a homely person, it can be really nerve-wracking, especially if you don't know anyone at the university. I would say my biggest tip for that is to make sure whilst you're there, you're socialising and you're not stuck in your room, because that is how you're going to make friends. And then when you have your friends, obviously it's less scary because you feel less alone, but yeah. Tips for budgeting or managing your money. I know a lot of people get student bank accounts. I did have one of them. I had Monzo. That's not specifically a student one, but it's kind of like an online banking type of thing where I separated my student finance to my money. So then I had my rent separate from the money that was kind of like my own to spend. So that was really helpful because that makes sure that you aren't spending your rent money on anything else. From that, you can kind of work out what you need to spend on shopping and then what you have left to spend it for yourself, basically. What are you looking forward to about the summer? Definitely spending time with my friends at home, missing Heidi because we all go to different universities and I don't see them a lot. Also, creating more YouTube content, TikTok videos. We should be going to hanz.louise as well this August. Fingers crossed we get to go because it is my favourite place on earth. But yeah, that's still don't really know if we'll be able to go yet, but hopefully we will. Best moments. So my best moments at uni, there's this one night that stands out. We had this party where we all had to dress in one colour. I was in grey. It was such a fun night. So yeah, that was it for this video. I really hope this was interesting. That was my first year university experience, and it was an experience to say the least. See you next time.